Hi everyone, welcome back to the Fold. My name is Emma and today I have a full body fundamentals flow for you. So we're going to take everything nice and slow and really master those fundamental exercises, working into that precision of movement. We're going to start with a red, a green and a yellow spring lying down onto the carriage. Make sure that your headrest is down. So taking the head to the headrest, feet onto the foot bar. We're going to start with the carriage not moving. So head resting down, shoulders slightly away from the shoulder rest. The hands, we're just going to wrap around to the rib cage here. Neutral spine, tailbone is heavy, small gap underneath the waist. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Feel the sides and back of the rib cage expand. And on your exhale, breathing out through the mouth, feel the rib cage knit. Again, inhale through the nose, rib cage expands. Fingers separate. And exhale through the mouth. Engaging those abdominals. One more. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Resting those hands down the sides of the body, shoulders slightly away from those shoulder rests. Inhale to prepare, exhale, imprint your lower spine, so lower spine presses gently into the mat. We peel the tailbone, lower back and mid back off the carriage, finding that bridge at the top, pressing those knees up and over the bar, squeezing those glutes at the top. Inhale, exhale, articulate the spine back down to the carriage bone by bone, starting upper, mid and lower back. Inhale, again, imprint, peel tailbone, lower back and mid back off the mat. Try to keep your carriage as still as you can. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Try to not flare the rib cage, and then melt the spine back down to the carriage bone by bone. So starting with that nice spinal massage, bone by bone, peeling off the carriage and then melting back down, upper back, mid back and lower back. Try to notice your hips here pressing up in line with one another. Good, all the way. Keeping those knees nice and narrow in line with your hips rather than collapsing out to the side here. Two more. Peeling up, squeeze, and then melting back down. One more time, lifting up to hold on this next repetition. Hands stay down, lifting left leg, exhale to tabletop position. Inhale, heel down. Exhale, right leg to tabletop. Inhale, heel down. Now let's take it back down to the mat. Exhale, rounding upper back, mid back, lower back. Neutral spine, exhale, imprint lower back, mid back. Lifts off the carriage. One leg floats, exhale, tabletop. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And then round the spine back down to the mat. We have that two more times here. Exhale, peeling up. Remember, vertebrae by vertebrae. Hips stay parallel, one leg. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Round the spine back down. One more time here. All the way up to find your bridge. We're going to take 4 marches at the top. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. One more time here. Good, opposite side. Good, and then round your spine back down to the mat. Bring your knees in towards your chest, give them a squeeze. Bring those feet back down, hip width, hands back down. So resetting in that same position. Knees as wide as the hips. Let's meet in that bridge. So imprinting, exhale, lower back, mid back, up onto those shoulders. Feeling that length through your hips. The glutes should feel quite fired up now. Right leg floats to tabletop, hold it there. Can you extend your right leg up towards the ceiling? And now flex your ankle as you lower your heel towards the bar. And then exhale, point the toe to lift that leg high. One more time, flex the ankle, inhale. Exhale, lift that toe high. And then bend the knee, place the heel down, and then round your spine back down to the mat. Opposite side, inhale, exhale, lifting, peeling up, hips high, inhale, exhale, left leg tabletop, stretch the left leg to sky. Now flex your ankle, lower your heel, point your toe, lift. One more, flex, leg is straight, lift. And then bend the knee, place the heel down, and then round the spine back down to your carriage. Bring those knees back in towards your chest. Good. Bring the feet onto your bar. Take hold of those straps behind you. Bringing the feet into straps one by one. So with the straps in your hands, push the carriage out. Take one leg to tabletop, pop the foot into the longer loop. Engage the abdominals as you press away, opposite foot to strap. And let's bend those knees into a tabletop position, pointing the toe. So you should feel the black straps just on top of your knee here. Find your neutral position again. So small gap is underneath the waist, hands are down the sides of the body, and your legs are adducted, which just means that they are together. So on your exhale, extend your legs away on a high diagonal, and on your inhale, bend your knees. So we exhale, extend. We inhale to bend. Now as you bend those knees, try not to bring them too far in here. So try to minimize that range of motion and just bring that knee over your hip and then press back out. Now to modify this movement, we extend just higher. And to intensify this movement, we extend slightly lower. But try to avoid flaring the rib cage or imprinting. Here we want to maintain a neutral position of the spine. Good. 3 and 2 and 1. Press away, turn the toes out, heels stay glued together. Bend the knees, flex the ankles. As you flex, draw those toes back, bend your knees. As you press away, can you point your toes? That's plantar flexion. So we dorsiflex, bring those knees in, plantar flex, pointing the toes. Okay, those are just the two names for your ankle flexion differentiation here. So froggy feet, ballerina feet. That's how I remember it. 3 and 2 and 1. Press away, hold here. Now let's come back to parallel legs. We're currently turned out. Come back to parallel, take away that turn out. Float those toes to the sky. Feel that stretch through the back of your legs. Your tailbone is still down. Flex your ankles, lower your heels towards the foot bar. So again, lift the toes to sky. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, lower the heels to your foot bar. Again, inhale, toes to sky. Exhale, flex to lower. Good. Next time you lift toes to sky, I want you to hold that stretch at the top. Now open your legs to a wide V and try and keep your carriage as still as you can. Close your legs back in and then flex your ankles to lower through center. So we're maintaining that stretch through the back of the legs. Lift, open, close, lower. Breathing, inhale, open, exhale, close and lower. Inhale, stretch, exhale. 3 more. Inhale, toes to sky. Exhale, close and lower. 2 more. Open, close, exhale, lower. 1 more. Float, open, close, flex to lower. Now circle your legs round and up to the top, straight into those leg circles. Down through center, scooping and rounding through the hips. 3. Good. And 2. And 1. Stopping at the top for that stretch and now circling in the opposite direction. 3. Always finding that stretch at the top, finding your maximum range of motion in the stretch phase of the movement. 3. And 2. And 1 more. Good. Bend your knees in. Let's take those straps away, just widening those knees. 1 foot out of strap. Find your foot bar so you're stable. And then opposite foot slides out. We're going to place those straps back onto those posts. And let's push up to a seated position. Swing your legs over to one side. We're going to either take a red and a yellow, or a red and a green for more of a challenge. That's red and yellow modified, red and green for more of a challenge. Feel free to bring your headrest up here for a little bit of support through the back of the neck as we focus on abdominals. So lying back down onto your carriage, bring the knees in towards your chest here. Hug those knees in tight. And now release, bring those feet back down, grab hold of those straps from behind you and extend your arms towards the ceiling. Feel free to take your shorter loops to intensify or your longer loops to modify here. So bring your fingertips up and over your shoulders. Tailbone is down, spine is in neutral. Float, exhale, one leg to tabletop and then take the other leg to join. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lower the hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your fingertips back to the sky. Exhale, lower hands to hips. Inhale, lift fingertips to sky. Now, if this is feeling a little bit much through the hips, feel free to cross your legs from the ankles here. Keeping that head down for now. We're going to add in arm circles from here. So lower the hands towards your hips first. Circle your arms around and up to the top. Exhale. Inhale, circle the arms. Again, exhale. Inhale, circle to return. Exhale. Inhale, circle. 3 more. Focusing on rib to hip connection. Rib cage isn't flaring. Keeping that rib to hip, engaging the outside abdominals. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Lift those arms to the sky here. Now feel free to bring your feet down for a moment. We're going to open the right arm towards the side of the room, keeping the left arm reaching towards the ceiling. So your arms are in a capital L shape. On your exhale, bring the hands to the hips. On your inhale, switch hands. So now right arm to sky, left arm to side of body, like a reverse capital L shape. On your exhale, hands to hips. On your inhale, split those arms. Exhale. Hands to hips. Inhale, split the arms. So think every time you're exhaling, both hands come towards the hips. Every time you're inhaling, the arms split in each direction. Good. 1 more time on each side. Opposite side. Good. Bring those feet down, relax the elbows, keep hold of those straps, windmill your knees to one side, and then take it over to the opposite side. 1 more time here, up and over, and up and over. So we're going to repeat those moves, adding in forward flexion from here. So the arms reach up towards the ceiling. Okay, up and over those shoulders. Float the legs to tabletop, exhale. Now from here, slightly away from those shoulder rests. On your exhale, nod the chin to chest, reach the arms to the hips. On your inhale, circle your arms wide, lower the head and reach. Exhale, nod the chin to chest, lift the head and shoulders, look to your thighs. Inhale, open those arms wide and circle back up to the top. Again, exhale. Inhale. Again, exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. Take a moment there. Bring those feet down. Okay, so this time we're going to split those arms again. So right arm reaches out to the side of the body. Float those legs back to tabletop. Again, introducing that forward flexion. On your exhale, hands to hips, look to the thighs. Imprint. On your inhale, lower the head. Again, exhale. Inhale. Again, exhale, lift head and shoulders. Inhale. Again, that deep rib to hip connection at the top. Good. 2 more times on each side. Good. 1 more time on each side. Try to keep those knees over your hips. And exhale. And inhale, relax there. Bring those straps back onto those posts again. Feel free to take that nice twist. Bring your feet a little bit wider on that bar. Maybe looking to the opposite side. Good, and then knees over. Maybe turning that gaze. Wonderful, guys. We're going to push back up and we're taking our box into a long box position onto the carriage. We're taking 1 green spring. Headrest can come back down. Okay, and we're coming to a straddle position on the box facing forward. Now we want to take hold of those straps from behind on our posts and our feet just come up to the corners of the carriage here. Your elbows are in towards the sides of the body, shoulders back and down, palms rotated to the sky. Now on your exhale, I want you to reach your arms away from your body. On your inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, reach forward, and inhale to bend those elbows. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. Inhale, return. Now to intensify, you'll be using those shorter loops. To modify, we're using those longer loops. Reach, offering to T. As you open those arms wide to the sides of the body, try to be cautious about where your rib cage is here. So if we go too far back, we start flaring the rib cage. So I want you to only bring those arms as wide as you can still see your fingertips in your peripheral vision. So bending in, reaching forward, opening out, reaching forward, bend the elbows. Good, 3 more here, offering to T. 2 more. We're going to hold that last repetition here. Okay, prepare to hold. Reach those arms forward here. Take little circles with your hands, out and out. Keep reaching forward, keep lifted tall. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just extend those hands down the sides of your body. Give those shoulders a roll out here. Good. Let's 180 to the back of the bed. So I'm going to take my straps into just one hand. Flip my legs round. So I'm facing towards the back of my bed. Bring the feet onto the headrest. Cross your straps. Slide your longer loops to the elbow crease. Sat to the edge of your carriage, lifting tall, elbows in front of the shoulders, arms in 2 90-degree angles, palms face in towards the forehead. On your exhale, open your elbows wide, palms to ears. And on your inhale, reverse that movement. So we open those elbows wide, squeezing the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms forwards. Try to keep your elbows in line with your shoulders here rather than dropping down underneath the shoulder line. So keep your elbows lifted, open, and return. If you feel like your straps are slipping, just have them just on your forearm, just below your elbow crease here. Reach, squeeze, and return. Try to pause in the squeeze. Good, 3 more. And 2. On that one, pause, hold, lift 2 inches, lower 2 inches. Keeping those elbows east to west. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax there. Keep those straps crossed and just slide to your longer loop. So fingers in, thumbs on the outside. Longer or shorter, so shorter will be more challenging here. Arms reach forward as though you're hugging something in front of you here. Now on your exhale, soft elbows, your arms are like bird's wings. Open your arms out wide. Again, squeeze the shoulders. Reach the arms forward, soft through the elbows. Shoulders down, exhale, reach, squeeze, inhale, return. Working those upper back and rear shoulders. Reach. And reach. 4 more times here. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1 more. Good, return there, well done guys. We're going to uncross those straps and use the shorter loops here. The arms reach forward in line with the shoulders, palms to sky. Make sure that you're sat near the edge of your box closest towards your headrest. Now on your exhale, I want you to tuck and round through your lower back, scoop your abdominals, find your C curve, find your rib to hip connection. 3 bicep curls at the bottom, keep looking forward, bend your elbows, bring those straps to your ears, extend your arms away. 2 more. Bend your elbows, extend your arms. 1 more. Bend your elbows, extend your arms, and now restack your spine tall. Again, exhale, tuck and round. Hold. Bend the elbows, inhale. Bend the elbows, inhale. 1 more. Extend the arms and now restack the spine. 1 more time here. Exhale, tuck and round. Curl and extend. 2 more. Keep looking forward. 1 more. Extend the arms, restack and relax those shoulders. Well done. Place those straps back onto your pose here. Swing those legs off to one side. Let's remove our box from the bed. So placing that box down the side of your bed, I want you to stick with your single green spring, and I want you to just come over to the right side of your bed here. Bring your right foot down the side of your bed, just in front of the base of your foot bar. Use your foot bar if you need to, and then place your left heel resting against that nearest shoulder rest. The hips are square, the hands are down the sides of the body, spreading the right toes wide. Look down and make sure that your right heel is underneath your right hip here. Now on your exhale, I want you to bend through your right leg, extend your left leg back, and reach your arms forward up and over the head. On your inhale, draw that carriage back in. So we exhale to press away, extending that left leg, hinging forward and reaching those arms. And on your inhale, draw the carriage back. Exhale, reach. Inhale to return. Try to keep your hips as square as you can. If this arm movement is feeling a little bit much, you can always bring your hands to your hips. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly, maybe using that foot bar with your left fingertips. Try not to collapse into that front hip. Try to keep that length here. Good. So make sure your toes are spread wide and you're pressing in with your right big toe. We want to distribute the weight as evenly as we can throughout the foot. Good. Let's add in a heel lift from here. So as you draw the carriage in, find a focus point in front, lift that right heel off the ground, lower the right heel, sink low, and again, inhale, press away, draw the carriage back, lift and find that balance. Pausing at the top, press, return, find that balance, press, and return. Find that balance. 2 more times. Reach. 1 more. Reach to hold here. Now bring your hands into heart center, elbows wide, and I want you to rotate and look over your right shoulder here. Bring it back to center. Inhale. Use your bar if you need to here. Rotate and center. 2 more times. Exhale, rotate. You should feel that right glute switch on here. 1 more. Rotate and center. Bring that carriage all the way back in. Step yourself off. Walk yourself round to that second side. So left foot near the base of the foot bar. Use your bar. Hop your right heel onto that shoulder rest. Hands to hips or down the sides of the body. Again, on your exhale, press away, extending that right leg, bending that left knee over the toes. Exhale. Really want you to find that length through that back leg here. So really stretching that back leg away. Reach. Hands to hips to modify, or use that bar if you need to here. Good. Now let's add in that heel lift at the top, that small pause, press away. Draw it back in, lift that back heel, find that balance. Heel lowers, press away, reach, and back. Lift, lift, lift. 3 more. And lift. And 2. One to hold here, take it low, bring those hands in towards your heart center. You're rotating away from your bed and center. Away from your bed and center. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Bring your carriage back in. Well done. Let's come to a kneeling position on the carriage to finish. Bring the heels to your shoulder rest behind you. Kneeling down. Hands just wider than shoulder width. Thumbs up and over with the fingers. Hinge those hips forward, finding almost like a plank from your knees here. Now, can you press away, extending your arms so the movement is initiated from the shoulders, looking down towards those springs. Bring your carriage back in. Again, pressing out. Keep those glutes switched on. Good. Find that point where we may start to feel a little bit shaky. And now exhale, shoulders over wrists. Again, inhale. Good. Exhale. Try to avoid this movement here. It's very tempting to stick those hips back, but we want to keep those hips forward. Good. Now, some of you might want to take it a little bit further by lifting those knees. Do feel free to reduce your range here. So carriages at home, shoulders over wrists, extending those legs, finding your plank, either holding here or taking a little push out, a little push in. Couple of inches out, couple of inches in. So you can definitely feel that shake now. Out and in. For 3. And 2. And 1. Well done. Lower those knees if they're not there already. Bring them wide, push out and tuck your toes to the center of those shoulder rests and find your child's pose. Reach your right hand to your left metal frame of your foot bar and look underneath your left armpit. Holding here for 2 breaths. And one more. Right hand to bar, left hand reaches under. Look under the armpits. 2 deep breaths here, rotational stretch. Bring your carriage back in. Hop off onto one side. Thank you so much for joining me today and well done, and I hope to see you again really soon.